Hi, welcome back. I am very excited about today's video because not only am I going to be playing around with some things that I have really been excited to try, but these are more so in particular products that you all have commented and told me to try. These are things that you really enjoy. These are some brands that not only you all I know use, but several of you have asked for my opinion on. So I have partnered with Skin Store again. They are sponsoring this video. If you remember, I worked with them last month on the Daniel Sandler video. So many of you guys trusted my recommendation on that and bought a Daniel Sandler watercolor. I think a couple of the shades sold out, some really popular ones like Angel, and it's been really fun to see all of your photos of you enjoying and using the watercolors. So basically they kind of gave me free reign and I wanted to take your opinions into consideration, and so I picked out some things from some brands that I know you've been wanting further review on, and also just some things that I know you all just as a whole really enjoy. So RMS was a brand that I just keep getting comments about. I've tried a few of their products in the past, but nothing really that I have been able to rave about on camera. And then Wonder Beauty was another brand that I know a lot of you all enjoy. So yeah, I'm just going to play around, create a nice fresh look today with some brands that not only I've been wanting to try, but I know a lot of you all have been wanting to hear my opinion on as well. Most of these I've tried because I don't like going into things blind. I don't like giving first impressions. I think it's really unfair. So I do have a pretty much a good idea on how these work for me, and I'm going to share that. Don't forget, I still have a 25% off coupon code with Skin Store, and I think it should be good on all of these items. I will leave a notation down below if it's not, but I believe most of these items it should work on. So let's go ahead and start. Okay, I'm going to try to keep my bangs out of my face today. It looks like I have a total bowl cut, but we're just going to roll with it. So to start out with, I've already prepped my skin. I'm going to be using the Wonder Beauty Nude Illusion Foundation. So this was one that not only I've been interested in personally, but I know a lot of you all have recommended just in the comments. So I have already used this. I picked up the shade Light. It is a pretty spot on match for me. I could probably grow into it just a little bit. It is a very warm undertone foundation. So it has this dofa applicator, which always a fan of, and it's a pretty good coverage foundation. I would say it's a solid medium coverage, so I'm gonna try not to go too overboard with it, but I have worn this a few times already and it looks really nice. For it to be such a higher coverage than what I generally go for, it has a beautiful finish to it, and I've also found the longevity to be really nice on it as well. But I would say that this is a very me foundation. I think it's buildable. You could definitely go super sheer with it. It has a nice, healthy, radiant finish to it. But you can also build this up to, I would say, a solid medium coverage. All right, so this is what the foundation looks like when it's done. It's very beautiful. I mean, I have absolutely no complaints looking at my skin right now. And with all of the cream products that I use on top of this, I think it holds up really nicely and maintains that really youthful glow. So I'm actually going to skip concealer today because, like I said, this does have just a tad bit more coverage than what I would generally go for, and I'm just not feeling an overly concealed look today. So we're going to move into bronzer. I'm using the RMS Beauty Buriti bronzer. So this was one that was also recommended by one of you all, or at least a few of you all. I've seen this in the comments several times, and I'm kind of skeptical because this is it appears to be a very shimmery bronzer, especially when you look at it on the website. However, I've noticed that while using it, you don't really pick up on any shimmer. It's very odd because even looking at it, you think, wow, this is going to be a really shimmery product, and it's actually not. I would say that color-wise, it is a little bit more of a cooler red undertone compared to something like my Milk Makeup matte bronzer, and I really like that about it. It's very sheer, which means that it's buildable, and I think that's good for those of you who are beginners to cream bronzers. If you haven't really caught on to the cream bronzer technique yet, working with something that is a little bit more on the sheer side will definitely help you grasp the concept and not allow you to go overboard. But just upon first application, you can see it's pretty glowy, like it's adding some glow to the top of my skin, but it's not overly orange, it's not overly red, it just has, I'm very impressed with the undertone of it. Now I know I'm going to get some comments asking why I didn't use the RMS, I think it's Uncover Up foundation and concealer. I've actually tried those in the past and I just was not a fan of either one of them, so I wanted to take the opportunity to try something that I potentially was a fan of, and I'm glad that I did because I think that this Wonder Beauty foundation is really stunning on the skin. But yeah, for those of you, I know some people have asked me if I've tried that. I have. I tried both of those and I don't know, I couldn't get on board with it. But so far so good with the more accessory RMS products. All right, so this is what we are looking like with foundation and bronzer completed. I think it looks good. I really like the sheerness. I didn't think I was going to be a fan of it. When I rubbed it on my hand, I was like, okay, this is very sheer. I don't know how this is going to translate, but it does build up really nicely. So let's go ahead and move into powder. Now this is one thing that I have not tried yet. I can't remember why I didn't try this, but I just haven't tried it yet. And it's another one from RMS, and it is the Tinted Unpowder. So this is basically a tinted version. They have a translucent version, and then I have the lighter color. It's just in the shade 0 to 1, and then they have a shade up from this. So I have not tried this, but I have seen this powder being recommended to me in the comments by you all. So this does have just a slight bit of tint to it, and I really appreciate translucent powders that have just a bit of color to them because I'm just not a huge fan of putting a ton of, you know, just white powder on my skin. I do like, if I am going to powder my skin, I like for it to have just a hint of color to it. So I'm just going to take that on a brush and really lightly press this into the skin. Like I said, I haven't tried this yet. This one is a first impressions for me. Let me get a mirror. Ooh, that is like, that's like very blurring on my skin. Okay, I am pressing this on top of my pores, and it's like immediately my pores have this really soft veil over the top. So that powder is pretty mattifying, but it has a crazy good smoothing property to it, which I think could benefit a lot of you who have enlarged pores or texture, because as soon as I put it, I mean, and I had like a close-up mirror looking, and as soon as I put it on top of my more porous areas, which is around this and my forehead, I just immediately saw it was like a little smooth veil going over the top. So thank you for those of you who recommended that to me, because I will 10 out of 10 be using this more in videos, and I think it's the perfect shade for my skin tone. It's not so pale that it gives off a white cast, but it also isn't so dark that it's going to be just too much to set my entire face with. So very pleased. That's probably the first product from the category. They have unfound or unpowder, unfoundation, uncoverage. That's just kind of like their line, and I think this is the first thing from that line that I have really enjoyed. So very pleased with that. Okay, let's move into something that is very interesting. This is going to intrigue a lot of you, I know, because it intrigued me when I saw it, and I had seen these in the past, didn't really give them much thought, and then I saw at least one person recommend this product in a video, and it is the Illamasqua Color Veil blushes. So when I saw these on the website, I initially thought that they were just like really runny, wet blushes. And that's actually not the case. These are the only way I can describe this formula is to describe the silly putty that you used to be able to buy, let's just say at the dollar store when you were a kid. It came in a little red egg. That is exactly what this feels like. It looks very wet and runny, but when you touch it, barely anything comes off. It is this bouncy, putty style of product, unlike anything I have ever tried. If you want to be like super sanitary with it, you can peel some product out and put it on the back of your hand, but this is so weird. This product is so weird. So you really have to get it warm to emulsify it. And to do that, you kind of have to use your fingers. So the reason that I would recommend probably the best way is pulling some out on the back of your hand is because you do need to warm it up a little bit. So I've just warmed it up on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to take my stipple brush and I'm just going to press this in. I have to say this is a beautiful color. It is in the shade Tonic. It's a very nice peachy pink, almost like a pastel shade. Very spring appropriate, and it lasted very well on my skin. I wore it through a workout and you could still see it popping through. So that's something that I always look for in a cream or liquid style blush, because I feel that they oftentimes they can't hold up. But this has just this really great, not only hyper realistic style of look, but the color is gorgeous on it as well. So yeah, I'm just basically warming that up on the back of my hand and then pressing my brush into it and lightly stippling on my cheeks. So next up, I have the Wonder Beauty Catch the Light Highlighter in Glotion. So this is a duo product. If you take the cap off of the top, you actually have a cream slash stick highlighter. And then when you open the second lid, it's a lotion style highlighter, or more of a liquid style highlighter. I think the Glotion is kind of intended as a prep product to be used underneath makeup. I did not necessarily feel that I wanted to go that glowy today, but it is a really interesting and pretty color. It has this a little bit of like a golden peachy hint to it. It blends out really nicely, doesn't feel sticky, so it would be suitable, I think, as a prep product. I just didn't want to go that glowy today. So I'm actually just going to use the top portion, which is a very nice, similar kind of peachy, candlelit glow style of product. And I'm just going to use that with the same brush I've been using my foundation with, and I'm just going to press that into the skin. Little goes a long way. What I like about it is it's pretty subtle. It's not a super flashy, glittery product. So this next part, I think a lot of you all are going to be excited about, because not only do I know that a lot of you all use this product, but I have been requested to talk about these products quite a bit. And it's the RMS Beauty eye polishes. Now I've already tried one. I have two colors to talk about today. I have already used the shade Solar, which is this wonderful golden burnished gorgeous shade. I'll try to include a photo of me wearing this on my eyes. Oh, it was stunning. But the shade that I wanted to save to use on camera is the shade called Magnetic. So I haven't used it yet. I've swatched it and it looks just as pretty, and it's this very lovely kind of taupey purple or amethyst style shade. So I am going to use that on my lids today. Let me get a little bit closer, because this is going to be a very quick and simple eye look. I just used my finger to apply the Solar color the last time I used it. So that's how I'm going to apply it. Just going to pick up a little bit on the back of my finger and tap it in. Oh, that is a great color. Just on a little pencil brush, I'm going to take a little bit more of the shadow and I'm just going to sweep it on my lower lash line. So I'm just going to take a really plummy toned liner and I'm going to tightline my eyes just to give a little bit more definition, because I feel like this is a shade that is just intense enough to really give you, you know, a nice hazy look. But I feel like I need to bump it up a tad bit. To finish off my eyes, I'm going to use the Ico Black Magic Mascara. I remember this being just like a classic favorite mascara back in the day, and I don't believe I had ever tried it. The brush looked right up my alley. It's a very natural hairstyle brush, and the formula isn't too dry and also isn't too wet. All right, so here's the thing with these eye polishes. I'm going to break down pros and cons for you really quickly. Gorgeous colors, like all of these colors I was immediately attracted to. The thing is that on me at least, they don't completely set, which can definitely cause an issue with those of you who have oily eyelids. They definitely will, on me, by the end of the day, have a little bit of creasage going on. The bonus part about that, since they are such a creamy formula and they don't dry down and have a super dry texture, you can literally go in, keep it in your purse, and just add a touch wherever you find that it's creasing and it looks good as new. Is that practical for everyone? Absolutely not. But everyone prefers different textures and different formulas. So that's kind of just what I noticed, especially wearing this solar color a few times and just, you know, getting the feel of this magnetic shade. I can definitely feel that it doesn't set completely like, you know, my general cream eyeshadows that I would use. However, I love these colors. I love a good one shadow color styled look. So let's move into lips. I have one more product to try from RMS Beauty, and it is their Lip Shine, and I got it in the shade Honest, which is kind of matches the Illamasqua shade that I'm wearing on my cheeks, so I did that intentionally. I'm going to use this with just a standard pink lip liner, and we'll see how it goes. I am a fan of this look. I'm self-distancing this week, so I have absolutely nowhere to go to show it off, but I'm glad I could share my opinion on some of these products with you all, and I'm glad that I finally have some of these to add to my collection. Some standout products for me, for sure. Definitely the RMS powder. This just looks so lovely and smoothing, but not overly matte on my skin. I think these eye polishes are really pretty, and I truthfully don't mind a little bit of that creasy look, but I know for some people it's just not an option, not into it. I totally get that. However, the shade selection, these are just so pretty. It took me a long time to narrow down which two I wanted to focus on. And then actually out of the two, I think I like the solar one maybe a little bit better. I think it stands out a little bit more than this magnetic one. And normally I'm not a big golden lid or golden eye style of person, but I think I do like the solar one a little bit better. And then the Illamasqua color veils. Really interesting product here. I've never seen anything like this. They're gorgeous though. I mean, this color, it's exactly what I want in a cream blush. It's very lightweight, but it lasts on the skin. And then finally, Nude Illusion. I mean, I am impressed. I love the way that it looks on my skin. I'm looking at my skin in viewfinder. I'm looking at it in the mirror, and I'm not seeing any areas that it's enhancing, especially around the more porous areas of my skin. It provides coverage, but in a very natural and flattering way. So those were some of my standouts from the things that I picked up. Let me know if these were things that you recommended to me or things that you personally use. I would love to know your feedback as well. Don't forget, I have a 25% off coupon code you can use on Skin Store. There's some things that it won't work on. Most or the majority of the products on there it will though. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.